This past Sunday in the sermon, we looked at Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 25, which is when the angel Gabriel visited the priest Zechariah to tell him that he and his wife Elizabeth were going to have a baby, even though they had been unable to have children into their old age. Well, there's one question that might have arisen from reading the passage that I didn't have time to answer in the sermon and won't have time to answer this week either, probably. It was and will be left on the desk. It relates to the relationship between Elizabeth, who is from the tribe of Levi, the daughter of a priest, it clearly says in Luke 1, and her relationship with Mary, the mother of Jesus, who is from the tribe of Judah in the royal line of David. But it says in Luke chapter 1, verse 36, that Mary and Elizabeth were relatives. Other translations, older translations, sometimes use the word cousins. And so the question has arisen, how could that be if they were descended from different tribes? And some skeptics of the Bible have tried to argue that if Mary was Elizabeth's cousin, then Mary must also have been a Levite. And like I said, some translations do say that Mary was the cousin of Elizabeth. However, like I think the other translations correctly note, the English word cousin does not have to imply a close relation like the cousin that we might think of, as in my uncle's son is my cousin. That's why the better translations use the word relative. But even that still doesn't completely solve the issue of the tribes overlapping. So what does that mean? Well, there's a number of very plausible ways to think about it that don't require you to think that the Bible text is contradicting itself. Even if Elizabeth and Mary were close relatives, it's still possible for them to be of different tribes, at least from the way that lineages were calculated and documented in the ancient culture of the time, because women in that culture and at that time were identified with their father's tribe, not their mother's tribe. So we learn in Luke chapter 1, for example, that Elizabeth's father was a Levite, making her a Levite by birth, but it's very possible that her mother may very well have been from Judah as well. On the other side, Mary's mother may have been a Levite and relations and kin with Elizabeth's family, while Mary's father was of Judah, which we know from Luke's genealogy. And we certainly know that the angel Gabriel affirmed Jesus' lineage as being from the line of Judah, not from the line of Levi. Now that we'll look at this week. That Jesus is a descendant of David and a descendant of Judah is beyond doubt, and that Mary was his mother is also beyond doubt. So we don't need to be thrown when we read things in the Bible and we aren't sure how they fit together, because in all likelihood, others have thought about those same things too, and there are perfectly reasonable ways to think about those things, which makes an apparent contradiction into just another evidence that the Bible is true and the Bible is trustworthy. And that, anyway, is what was left on the desk.